What's going on, Carl? They don't
Tell
usually.
Rita.
They don't
Oh, I know that girl. That's weird.
I've seen them. I'm sure the chips.
Yeah.
Testing microphone 1 2. Testing microphone 1 2.
I know you and Bennett knows, but he's out of town.
Oh,
You had asked me to make sure that he.
sure, thank you.
He's out of town.
Yes, that's okay.
He's in Cleveland,
Oh, wow.
which is where he.
It's okay. I just wanted to.
He And in our cemetery, we would do that. Except when you're doing that, it's up to you. Okay, you already talked to him?
No, I'm going to go talk to him right now.
It depends on who you think my mother is. Because there's two. Oh, no. My grandma. I bet it was my grandma at the party place. Yeah. I love that. No, she's right over there in an adjacent section, not here in person. But she's wonderful. She was. That's right. We love that. All right. Found that. All right. So.
Eric, what's your mom's super name again?
Sorry.
I am sorry. I did not know. Oh, nice.
Oh,
She did everything by herself. That means she didn't know that I was not living with her. That means that her she would call and she would tell me what to do. Where to take things from.
I want you to know people over here.
I know, that's
Very-
what I told you.
Very recently, and we celebrated our shopping well.
I know.
And we all love Rita, and we're here to support her. Awesome.
Thank you so much. I actually thought you were sick for a second.
Yeah.
You guys look so familiar
so
now.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It's the tragedy that she wanted to do more. Yes, she did.
Thank you.
It's so much she wanted to do.
Yeah, I'm surprised. It's great. Yeah.
Okay, I told her we're all here.
I am.
Guys, that's her mom.
Oh, you're nice. Yes, thank you. It's okay. But no, thank you for coming and thank you for helping her throughout all that. That's very nice. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
I'm so sorry.
Remember I told you to shut that road? There's operations. Oh, they're bringing her. Bringing.
Watch the board during each side. So it helps kind of base one another.
Wait. Can I touch one?
We gathered here today for the final cover, the final respects for Esther Bas Ruvain, Esther Bas Chayadina, Rita, our dear friend, family member to so many. Before we begin the eulogies, I'm going to recite several psalms, and I will provide a translation as well so that everyone can join together in these very meaningful prayers as we begin the service. Eishes chayil miyimtza v'rochoik mit mina michra batach bo leibala v'shol lo-yechzor g'moafi tov v'loira kol nechaya dor shetemru pishtim ataz v'chevet chaper hoysep in yasocher Yimercha tov yilachma v'atan bo ilayla v'ati ben teref leveis v'chot l'narisol zvan v'asad v'atikocheyu v'pri chaper not t'chorem choker be'oz masneh v'atamid z'rosel Tama kitav sachro v'yichna v'layla neiro V'del shulcha bakishor v'chaper tam chupolech kapa parselioni V'del shulcha levin l'zir leveis v'misholek v'chabeis v'lavashonim marvad v'mat salah Sheish v'yargom l'vusha noida v'ashorim balo V'shifta mizgayoret tzadinos v'atim kor v'chagornos v'lakanani oiz v'odor l'vusha Yitzchak v'yamacher and pia pasta b'chachma v'seras chesed al shona tzfiya halichos beisa v'lachamatus v'sochel kamu b'ner v'yashua b'ala v'yahalo Rabbos bonus also choyel v'atolis al kulona sheker achein v'hevel ayofi isha yiras adona hitis alo nula mipriyodel v'yahalu v'ashor masel. A woman of valor who can find far beyond pearls is her worth. This is a prayer that many are familiar with, the description of the quintessential Jewish woman. The Jewish women who have sustained the Jewish people throughout the millennia. And King Solomon tells us of all of the traits, the characteristics of this gallant woman, this Eshes Chayil. And perhaps most famous and most poignant are the final words that King Solomon shares with us. Many daughters have accomplished well, but you surpass them all. Grace is false and beauty is vain. A woman in awe of God, she shall be praised. Give her the fruits of her own hand, and let her deeds praise her in the gathering places. A lifetime immersed in good deeds, education, in her family. Eshes Chayil Miyimtza, who can find a woman of valor, a gallant woman, with the loss of our Rita. Psalm 16, Psalm 15, I'm sorry. Mizmor LeDavid, Adonai mi yoger be'alecha mishkan b'har kodshecha. Kolech tamim u'foel, tzedek v'dover emes b'lvavo l'roga l'shona l'osa l're'eu ra, v'charpa l'nasa al karogo. Nivza bein of nimos, there's yirei Adonai yechabe nishma l'hora v'lo yomir, kaspoi l'nasam b'neshech v'shoichad al noki l'lokoch osa ele l'imot l'olam. A song of David, Lord, who may sojourn in your tent, who may dwell on your holy mountain, one who walks in purity, who does what is righteous and speaks the truth from the heart, who has no slander on the tongue, nor has done harm to a fellow, nor casts disgrace toward a neighbor, in whose eyes a contemptible person is repulsive, but who honors those who are in awe of the Lord, who swears truthfully even to personal hurt and never retracts, who does not lend money on interest, nor takes a bribe against the innocent. One who does these things shall never falter. Again, a lifetime of good deeds, of care for others, of building people, of building the present and the future of the Jewish people. And finally, Psalm 23. Mizmor LeDavid Adonai roi lo echsar, b'nozdesha yarbitzeni, al memenucha zina haleni, nafshi yeshovi v'amcheni v'maglei tzedek v'man shemo. Gam ki elech v'geit salmoves lo yurah ki ato imadi. Shivtecha mishantecha, heimo yenachamuni, taruch lefanai shulchan neged soroi, yishamta v'Hashem en roshi kosi mivoya. Achtov v'chesed yurdifuni kol yimei chayai v'shavti b'veis Adonai le'orech yomim. A song of David, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not lack. God makes me lie down in lush pastures. God leads me beside tranquil waters. God restores my soul and guides me in righteous paths for God's name's sake. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your scepter and staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in full view of my adversaries. You have anointed my head with oil. My cup overflows. May only goodness and kindness pursue me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord for length of days. I never had the privilege, the opportunity to meet Rita, Esther Bas, Ruvain, Chayedina. I did have the opportunity, though, on Friday to hear a little bit about her life, a very productive life. And one thing that jumped out at me in speaking to Eric was that she was a lifelong educator. And I thought to myself, and I shared with Eric on Friday, what do we have throughout our life? As we know, a person can accrue assets, money, property, fame, wealth. We cannot take it with us. What we take with us is the good name we have created, the people we have built, those we have shared our love with, our knowledge with. And there's a wonderful Talmudic dictum that I felt was so appropriate to describe Rita. The Talmud tells us in the Torah, when discussing the children of Moses and Aaron, Moshe and Aaron, the Torah says these are the children of Aaron and Moshe, and the Torah lists only the children of Aaron. So our sages ask the obvious question. These are Aaron's children. These are not the children of Moshe. And our sages teach us a very important idea and lesson, which all of us should carry in our hearts and in our hands throughout life. When you teach somebody, when you educate them, when you inculcate them with knowledge and a path in life, they are your children. They are your children. Talmidim harehim kebanim. Students are like children. And so while we have Rita's family here with us, siblings, her mother, her son, I'm sure we have here many other people who are, in a sense, her children with us today. And the true legacy that a person leaves behind are not just their biological family, but all those whom they have impacted, built, educated. Those are the zechutim, the merits that will accrue for Rita as she moves on to the Olam HaEmet, to the world of truth. When anyone here who was impacted by her, educated by her, who learned something from her, does something because you learned that, you were impacted, influenced, you are her child. You are carrying on her legacy in her life. You are moving her neshama to higher places, her soul into higher realms in the world of truth. I would like to ask Rita's sister Sabrina to share words with all of us.
Wow, what a crowd. Rita would be amazed that she's in such a spotlight. She didn't like the spotlight. Many of you know Rita as an extraordinary educator, as the rabbi had just mentioned, a loyal and big-hearted friend, an awesome mom to Corey, and many others, a mentor and a hostess with an open home. However, what you didn't know what it was like to have her as a big sister. We are a small but mighty family, and many times people will say, I didn't even know you had siblings. But we don't take it personally, because much of our adult lives, we've lived in different states. But growing up here, we often got, oh, you're Rita's little sister or brother, followed by, that explains a lot. I've chosen to share a few stories today because Rita loved family and memories. If you come to her home, you'll see pictures reminding her of good times. Rita loved to laugh, although she enjoyed a good cry too. She would want us to have a few giggles on her behalf today. To us, Rita was a very cool big sister. She was energetic, funny, and bubbly, always willing to help out. She used to help me study for my tests, and she would use these crazy mnemonic devices and clues that made no sense, but they actually worked. I have used the same techniques today to help my kids study for their test. We have shared ideas for our youth groups that we have run and shared words of wisdom. Eric loves to share a good Torah story, and Rita always absorbed them and had great conversations around Jewish values. She was always teaching and learning with us. Rita loved to travel and was hoping to do more in her retirement. She came to visit me in Belgium when I lived there for school. One day while I was in class, she went to Antwerp to sightsee. When we met up, she informed me that she forgot to put the film in the camera. We raced through the city to all the spots she visited to retake those pictures. As crazy as it was, at least I got to be in those pictures with her. Rita was the supplier of free ice cream to us the summer she worked at Baskin Robbins. She tried to teach me how to drive a stick shift. Didn't go so well. She took me to my first rock concert, and she let me hang with her friends, which was the coolest thing. She took her role very seriously in doing the best to watch out for us and to give us experiences. Nothing was more fun than teasing and torturing Rita about certain topics. My brothers loved to tell her they caught gardener snakes and put them in her bed. Her response was to make me pull back the covers to just confirm they were joking. When Corey was born, we became built-in babysitters, which we loved. She would complain that we would get him all riled up, but when we had our own kids, she paid us back plenty. Rita was the Mary Poppins of aunts. She had a tendency to buy birthday cards. She just never mailed them. So when she would come for a visit, she'd come with maybe 2 or 3 years worth of cards and gifts. She also came with the best arts and crafts, scavenger hunts, and games to play. Her nieces and nephews absolutely adore her. Even though she lives far away, she really knew them. When she called, she really listened to them and engaged in all the details of their lives. Over the years, our relationship has evolved. and Rita became a colleague and a partner. Rita and I discussed mutual authors and events to bring to our communities. Eric and Rita discussed recipes and educational tools. All of us are planners and community organizers, and when we get together, we are a whirlwind. We speak our own language, we fall into a rhythm, we argue, discuss our attack, and move forward. My husband once mentioned to the spouses, it's best if we just get out of their way. But no matter how much we've grown, Rita's always the big sister. She has the best advice for relationships, and she knows our kids so well, giving us parenting and educational tips. She has the keen ability to see difficult issues and offer calm and sensible advice. Even recently, Eric and I had a disagreement, which does not happen often. We both texted Rita immediately. When I spoke with her, she said she knew something was up because she rarely hears from both of us at the same time. She immediately fell back into her big sister mode, restoring the peace. There really is so much to say about her and so many stories. It was difficult to keep this to under an hour. Rita was bigger than life with a great sense of humor, endless creativity, a heart of gold, a sense of Jewish pride that she shared with everyone, a need to care for people and animals, an incredible daughter, mom, friend, aunt, and sister. Rita's impact on people's lives is evident from all of those that are here today, as well as all the students she's had over the years. Just spend some time with Corey and you can see the special bond she has with her son. Her nieces and nephews carry on some of her favorite things like the love of hot tubs, puzzles, planning events, art, and traveling. She has taught Eric and I innumerable lessons. Although Rita is gone way too early and there is still so much she wanted to do in her next chapter, Rita has left a legacy for her community and her loved ones. We will miss you, big sister.
I'd like to ask Rabbi Foster, Rabbi Emeritus of Temple Emmanuel, to share, to raise the current, to share words of remembrance.
Our God and God of all generations. Thou governest all things with infinite wisdom and mercy. You guide us to destinies of all of humankind. As a parent, have you loved us and showered your blessings upon us. Therefore, we shall not murmur even when sorrow befalls us. But with humility and unfaltering trust, we shall accept your decrees. In joy and in sorrow alike, we praise your goodness and acknowledge your justice. We remember that we are but strangers upon earth. Like a shadow, our life flees away. Help us, O God, so to walk in your sight, that when the few years of our earthly pilgrimage are ended, we may be ready to meet our end with tranquil mind. To thee we look for comfort and strength. One of our beloved is taken from us, and a link is broken in the chain of love, which binds us together. Though we walk in the valley of the shadow of death, we shall fear no evil, for you are with us. Praised, O eternal our God, in all your dispensations, and sanctified be your name now and forevermore. Let us say together. Amen. Beloved family, dear friends, we are here in these large numbers because of our commitment, not just to express our condolences to family, but to understand that each of us has a task to do. It's to remember what the rabbi has already said about all of us who were her children, because all of us learned something from her in our lives. Some of you have just studied for your own bar bat mitzvah. She was a part of that process, not just this year, but for many years. Some of you have begun your own journeys in Jewish life or learning about Judaism. Rita was there. She helped. Rita was there for hundreds, if not thousands, of young people, whether it was young people who were studying for their bar bat mitzvah, or whether it's children who would come to religious school, whether in our synagogue or any others. And there were many that she worked for. And she put together her programs. And they were carefully thought through. And they were done. And she never stopped planning, always planning. So we're here on this day to express, for sure, our condolences to this family. Certainly to you, Corey. To you, her beloved mother. This is not the first time that she has laid a child to rest. And it's difficult. Brother and sister who care so much about her. So we're here to express our condolences to all of them. And even though death, I think, finally came to her as a gift, we don't want to define her by her illness. We don't want to define her by these last number of months that she's been ill. Rather, we should define her by all of the things that she did in life, all of the ways in which she influenced each of us who is here. And so in some ways, if we are her children, thank you, Rabbi, if we are her children, then in some ways we are also mourners. And for all of us, we have a task. There's no easy way to say goodbye to anybody. And yes, it is bittersweet. Bitter because she's gone. Sweet because whatever pain there has been has finally come to an end. But this is also a time for a family specifically to understand the tasks that are theirs. It's to grieve for sure, because a life has been cut off. But it's also to wonder about birth and death. We all think about the fact that we shall all die. And we do wonder what's going to happen. People come to me all the time and they say, Rabbi, what's going to happen when I die? And I say, I have two answers, and Rita would appreciate this. My first answer is, I don't know. I've not been there. And more importantly, I am not anxious to find out. It's a mystery for all of us. We have to contemplate that mystery. And as many of us as there are here today, we may have all different kinds of thoughts about what may happen. The fact is, what we have to do, we have to remember that in the long run, what it's about, it's the legacy we've left behind. And so that's the third task for you, especially as family. To remember who she was, and for all of us, who she was as a child, as a friend, as a teacher, as a person who is looked to for ideas for others to teach. You have to remember what she did and how she did it. And lastly, and this is for all of us, we have to emulate who she was. Otherwise, we lose this immortality that she has so richly deserved and earned. 61 years old is too young. But the truth is, she may live on for a long, long time because of the influence she has had upon others. When I think about Rita, for all these years she's been at the temple, and as I say, at other places other institutions of learning. I think of her as walking fast to get things done and never stop. And if there was something on a table that was to be shared later, she would look at that table and see, well, there's not quite enough of this, and there's not quite enough of that. And she would go and she'd make sure that the table was filled with whatever it is that she thought was missing. Because she wanted the experience for all of us in learning to be a good experience. She was special in that way. I'll read a little poem that I think really marks her life. The poet wrote, "Let me die working, still tackling plans unfinished, tasks undone. Clean to its end, swift may my race be run. No laggard steps, no faltering, no shirking. Let me die working. Let me die thinking. Let me fare forth still with an open mind, fresh secrets to unfold, new truths to find. My soul undimmed, alert, no question blinking. Let me die thinking. Let me die giving. Substance of life for life's enriching. Time, things, and self on heaven converging. No selfless thought, loving, redeeming living. Let me die giving." When I think of Rita, I think that that's who she was. And in so many ways was she a giver. Not just as a teacher, although that is true. But her home was always open. She not only taught the values of our people, she lived them. And if the values of our people were that we should help others who needed help, she was there and did her very best to relieve the suffering that other people had. She was an amazing educator. And it's important that we not forget that. Not just the teacher, but the mentor of other teachers. She was creative and she was devoted. She had that loving relationship with her students and truly loved them. And tried to show that in so many, many ways. She loved theater. And she loved to perform, especially as a young person. And maybe that's why she made sure that what she did as a teacher was like a performance, because perhaps it would be remembered. So many ways at the temple and other synagogues that she used her credentials to make sure that others would learn. Holidays were special for her. Memories of her at all the school's activities with parents. So for Rita, the notion of having family education was real. It wasn't just something she talked about, but all her programs were family education programs. And she helped in that way in so many ways. She's inspired. She was tireless. She did the hard work, making sure that those tables were always filled. She gave of herself in so many others, because that is not just her philosophy. It is the way she chose to live. She was present for her nieces and nephews at all the celebrations, always present. Corey, she made you her special person. You said there was Corey Day every year. Wonderful gift that she gave, not just to you, but the idea that she had a day that she called Corey Day. Maybe we should all adopt that as parents for our kids. She loved the personal sides of life. Hot tubby. beaches, massages, spas, bowling. And I understand she was a putt-putt enthusiast. Dear friends, we have lost someone special. But it's up to us to make sure that we didn't lose her. It's up to us to keep who she was alive in the worlds in which we live, and thereby influencing another generations, many generations to come. And so to you, her students who are here, we hope and we pray that you will continue to learn by hearing what she taught in the past. To you, her friends, who knew her in a very different way, keep those memories alive. People have called me during this last few days and shared their thoughts about who she was. They didn't have to. They wanted to make sure that we all knew that her friends were very dear to her. To you, her sister, to you, her brother, to your families, to all of those who are a part of your life. We hope and pray that the memories of growing up here, living here, understanding this great gift of this beautiful day. She loved this. And you take a little of that with you, even on the East Coast. You guys could use it there. To you, her beloved mother, I cannot imagine how difficult this is for you. Loss is hard. And we all know intellectually that we will lose people we love. We know that. There's no way that any of us can truly understand what you're feeling at this day. And we hope and pray that you will find comfort also in the memories that you have of your wonderful daughter. And Corey, oh boy, I remember you, Corey. As you said to me the other day, are you still talking to me? Of course I'm talking to you. But I remember you because your mother had such pride in this young son that she raised. She had such devotion to you. And we hope and we pray that you will keep all of those memories part of your life, and that they will bring comfort to you in time to come. Yes, these days and weeks and months are going to be difficult. But as those memories settle in, they will also become a source of comfort. We pray that that will happen for you. In concluding, I want to read a poem that I think Rita understood and loved. Perhaps it will be a comfort to you. The poet wrote, when I die, if you need to weep, cry for someone walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around others and give them what you need to give me. You can love me most by sharing your joys and multiplying your good deeds. You can love me most by letting me live in your eyes and not in your mind. And when you say Kaddish for me, remember what our tradition teaches. Love doesn't die. People do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. Maybe that would be her advice to all of us. God has given. God has taken away. Praise be the name of God, now and forevermore. And let us all say together. Amen.
was on file from the hospital.
On behalf of the Chevra Kadisha, the Burial Society, we'd like to ask forgiveness, Mechila, from Rita, Mr. Basruven, and Dina, for any disrespect or any flaws in preparing you for your final respect, for your cura, for your burial. We have done everything that we can to show you the final honor, final respect. Please forgive if anything has been done inappropriately.
I want to thank Rabbi Fleischer and Rabbi Foster for all the words that he said, they both said about Rita. I do not have to add anything more to what Sabrina said about Rita. Rita was exactly what everybody described. She was perfect in her own right. She was strong, dedicated, and full of purpose. She never forgot her objectivity, her purpose in life. And she went and she did it and she performed everything that she wanted. That is my comfort to know that she lived the way she wanted to live, fulfilling all her desires and her projects and her life dreams. And fortunately, for whatever reason, she has not been able to finish her dream. But maybe through us, we will do that. I loved her. I was very, very proud of all her projects, actions, and she did not mind. She loved everyone. She did not care who they were, just as long as they were good. That was her criteria. A good person that could do things, that could help her, that could support her. I love her. I will miss her so much. I don't believe that I am here today for her. She had so much more to give, and I hope we're going to be able to give too, like she did. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, all of you who loved her and cherished her.
Earth you have come, you shall return. God has given, God has taken, may the name of God be blessed forever and ever. God has taken, the name of Hashem be blessed now and forever. Hashem has given, Hashem has taken, Hashem be blessed. Anyone else wants to?
So friends, I want to share with you a little bit about what's going to happen now, because it's not what we're totally used to at funerals in this cemetery. According to traditional Jewish law, one of the things that has to happen in order to conclude a funeral is that the grave is filled with earth, which is this beautiful act and gift that we get to do for our loved ones. And so we have the opportunity here to help and put a little bit of earth in the grave. In this particular cemetery, there are some rules. One of those rules is that we put a vault on top of the cemetery. I heard Rabbi Fleischer say, which is so beautiful, that one of the things that the Jewish community has done is figured out how to make sure that those kinds of cemetery rules are accepted by Jewish law. So we're not violating Jewish law by doing this, but it does mean that our order of operations today is going to look just a little bit different. In a second, we're going to ask everybody that's here to step back to the road. That's only a safety consideration because the things that come in to move the vault and the rest of the earth have hydraulics. And that means that we want to give them a little bit of distance and make sure that we're taking care of all of you and keeping you safe. Once we do that, we'll give it a minute, and the amazing people that work here at our cemetery will come in, they'll place the vault, they will put the rest of the earth on the grave, at which point we will be able to conclude our service and do everything for Rita that feels important to us, and be sure that we have laid her to rest in this beautiful, shady, and wonderful spot in a way that feels both appropriate and is meeting the requirements of Jewish law, as is really important to her family. So we're doing a lot of things at one time. I will tell you two things. If you are ready to go and it's not critical for you to stay till the end of the funeral, you're welcome to. I'm going to ask that we make sure that we have a minyan that is left for the ability to say Kaddish at the end. So if you are a person that might help make that minyan, please just be conscious of that. And the second thing that I'll say is that some of you probably won't be able to get out because of the way that you have parked. And I just so appreciate your grace and your patience in that. And it might take a couple of minutes. And it's a beautiful day, and find a piece of shade and think of Rita. And thank you for being on this sort of interesting order of journey with us as we make sure that we can just love Rita and take care of her in this moment. We appreciate it. Are we ready to move, folks? Okay, so I'm going to ask everybody to please move back to the road. Oh, yes.
No, I would like to give a tribute to two people that shown a dedication day and night since Rita was sick. That's her son Corey and his fiancée Jackie. They both were day and night from the moment to the last moment they were there for her. I have never seen such a dedication from a son nor from a fiancé. May God protect them and give them the courage to continue the way Rita was. Thank you, Jackie, and thank you, Corey.
I was looking for you.
God's work. For all God's paths are just. God of faith without doubt, iniquity righteous, and fear is God. Hatzur Panel Paul. Remember Lo Matufa. Shal Dematu Mal. Memis Machayim Murish Ovayal. Hatzur Panel Masa. Yomer Elo Matasa. Homer V'Oisa Chesed Lanu Sasa. V'Schus Hanekat Kitzeh Hakshiva V'Asei. Tadi B'Chol Derochav Hatzur Tamim. Erech Hapayim Umoli Rachamim. Chamol No V'Chusna Alo V'Suvonim Ki V'Choton Aspuchas V'Rachamim. Tzadik Atuat Doinoi. Asher biyodcha pigdon kol ruchos chalil lechol zecheminu limchos. V'yono einecha berachmim aleinu fekuchas ki v'chol adon arachmim v'aslichos. Adam ben shona yiyah or yalev shonim yichya. Ma yisron lo klo hoya yiyah. Baruch daino emes memis umchaya. Baruch hu ki emes dino mishaytet akol beino. Umishalim lo adon cheshbono v'dino v'akol lishmo. Vadoyo yitenu. Yodanu adonai ki tzedek mishpotecha. Titzdak bidovrecha v'sizke b'shavtecha v'ila har acher bida shavtecha tzadik atum adonai v'yoshu mishpatecha. Dain emes shofet tzadik v'emes baruch dain ha'emes shekom mishpatev tzadik v'emes nefesh kol chai b'yodecha tzadik molo yiminucha v'yodecha rachim al pleidas tzon yodecha v'somer l'malach heref yodecha v'dolo eitzav v'ravu al liyah asher einecha v'kufais al kol dachi b'nei adam l'sis l'ish k'dracha v'chefrima alolav v'hagik yosher adonai tzari v'loy avlosavo Adonai Nasan v'Adonai Lokach Hishem Adonai Mevorach Uracham Yichaper Avon v'Lo Yashchis V'Bol Yashchis. Mekar, Uchono, Nuchroa, Min Alva, Sava, Ucho, Ishmael, Asrei, Ucha, Uchu, Benai, Concludes the service. Shabbat will take place 440 South Jasmine Street today until 6 p.m. And then tomorrow from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m.